Hey, Daniel. Or should I call you the legend? You're unmuted, so you can talk. Oh, and we have, looks like Darth Vader's joining us today. I see James is here. For the last Friday, well, not the last, Friday of our week, the last day of the week. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay, yes, you had a question, Daniel? He is not here. He may stick his head in a few minutes, but he's not in here right now. If he does, I'll let you know so you can ask him a question. And I still can't open your documents. Can you try something else? However that you're uploading other stuff that's coming through, but for whatever reason, these two documents weren't coming through. We'll figure out if we need it. And everyone's unmuted, so you can talk real quick if you want. Hey, Venetius. Hello, Yana, or at least Yana's hand. There she is. Hey, Yana. I guess you guys have heard we get to teach from our homes next week, so you get to see some of my house instead of me seeing your house all the time, which means now I got to clean up. I got to actually look like I'm. Daniel, Mr. Kidd just walked in. Do you have a question for him?
Yeah.
I'm sorry? Okay, he's coming in.
I'm sorry, Daniel who? Oh, he looks very familiar. But I didn't see him in my Bible class. That can't be the same one.
Was there Bible class today?
Yeah, remember that quiz we had today?
You want my earphones broken?
Did you forget the Bible quiz? Chapter 22? Yes. Right after this, go online and put your Bible quiz, put the picture up on it.
Abby, is that a corn dog I see? Abby, you can talk. Everyone's unmuted. What is that you're holding in your hand? I can't hear you. You're frozen. Hey, Diana. Hey, Matt. Nice to see you, buddy. Hey, Janice. Abby, you're still frozen. I can't see anything. It's a what, Abby? I still can't hear you, Abby. Yes, it's a little spotty. What is that, Abby? Abby, what is that? Hey, Elizabeth. Get ready to meet you guys, but I wanted to say hello. We've all survived almost our first week of online classes. Who knew we could do this as a team? Just think we're preparing you for life. I don't know how, but we are preparing you for life somehow. Although sometimes I'd like life to go back to the way it was. I miss seeing you guys. I miss having to tell you to take your non-BBS sweatshirts off and quit throwing the ball at lunch and bring your Bibles to chapel. Now, what else do I miss saying? Demerits. Oh, demerits. No, I never liked getting much. Matt, what did you say? Oh, that's right. I haven't had to tell Andrew to be quiet once this week. Man, life is crazy to think the things we took for granted just a short 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Andrew, you just joined in. Matt was saying that one of the things I miss is telling you to be quiet in class. Now you just sit there. Now I wish I could tell you to be quiet in class. I wish I still had you guys in class. So I know I'm getting tired of my own cooking at home. I'm sure my children are getting tired. Mr. Kid's getting tired of my cooking. He's already made a list of all the different restaurants. He's already made all the list of the different restaurants. Okay, I'm going to mute all of you guys, so I will unmute you maybe at the end of class. You can talk to one another, but I'm muting everybody now. Okay, everyone should be muted. I'm going to. Okay. All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have everyone. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to pray. We'll get started. I have a video to show you that we didn't get to yesterday. A couple of things we're going to talk about today, Middle America, and we'll go from there. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for today, Lord. Thank you for the end of a great week, Lord. It's a different week. It's a week that we didn't necessarily anticipate having or doing or creating, Lord, but you allowed it. And thank you so much for the resources we have here at Ben Salem Christian Academy, Lord, to be able to do this. It's a blessing. I know so many school systems around the country don't have these capabilities. And thank you, Lord, that you've given us, you blessed us with this. You blessed us with people that can help us set these things up, Lord. Bless us with the technology that we have. I continue to pray for our president, Lord, and the team of advisors he surrounded himself with. Lord, please just give them wisdom to make the right decisions on behalf of the American people. Help us and our own families to make the right decisions for each other, Lord. I know we're just trying to be extra cautious and doing different things maybe than we did even 3 weeks ago. I pray you continue to keep us healthy, keep us safe, Lord. I know I pray for my students every day that you will protect them, Lord, that you will keep them from getting sick. Pray for our staff that will continue to be well. Thank you for the different ways that we're learning how to adapt, Lord. Thank you that we can adapt. Thank you for loving us. In your son's name I pray. Amen. Okay, real quick, a couple of announcements. Homework. I looked on ThinkWave right before I got on. It looks like I'm missing homework still from, where's my list? I can find it, I just wrote it down. Looks like Elizabeth and Matt, I'm still waiting on homework for you. Your questions and your current events. So please make sure you get those uploaded today. I'll give you, normally it's supposed to be in by the end of this class period. I'll give you till this evening to get it uploaded, so please don't not upload it. Daniel, I already talked to you about yours, and John, I still need your current event. I don't have your current event yet. So you can chat with me, let me know if you think, I just checked right before class, so if you've uploaded it in the last 5 minutes, I wouldn't have seen it. But I'll talk to you guys more at the end of class over that. Okay, your work for next week will be put up later today, but there is 2 things I want to let you know that's on ThinkWave right now. We're getting ready to watch our travel video, top 10 tourist destinations across the United States. When that's done, I will tell you what needs to be done with that. And then we're going to be starting our unit on Middle America, Central America today. We're going to talk about the banana republics, which are Honduras, Panama, and Costa Rica. So 1 extra credit assignment I'll have out probably for the duration of the quarter is if you purchase any bananas in the store, there's always a sticker on the bananas. Well, if you can take a picture of a banana that you see that has a sticker from Honduras, Panama, or Costa Rica, you'll get another quiz grade worth 100%. So be on the lookout for your bananas. Look, there's always stickers on them. They'll say where that banana came from. So be on the lookout for that. And if you can upload a sticker from one of those 3 countries, you can get 100% quiz grade. I'm getting ready to start the video in a moment, but what I want to do is I want to finish up our verse for this week. We're not done with the verse, but I want to do another part. Can everyone see the board? Jeremiah 33:3. I'll post it out of the way. We're going to talk about the words I will. Let me read Jeremiah 33:3 again. And again, you may say, Mrs. Kidd, I really don't get why we're doing this every day before geography class. It is my job as your history teacher to tell you, teach you, inform you about history. And in this case, I am hoping to help you through the history that we're making right now. There's going to be a time where you're going to tell your children or your grandchildren, I remember when. You guys are too young to have any of the I remember when days right now. You might say, I hear you guys sometimes talk, I remember when we were in 1st grade, or I remember when this happened on the bus when I was in elementary school, or whatever. But significant events in history, one day you will look back and say, I remember when we couldn't go to school for the 4th quarter of my freshman or sophomore years. Or I remember when we could only go to Walmart and back. Or I remember when all the movie theaters were closed, all the malls were closed. I remember when we couldn't eat in restaurants for a period of time. So there's going to be a time where you're going to have the I remember when stories to tell people. But those I remember when stories that are history, we've got to learn how to cope through that. We have to learn how to make it through that. And you are so blessed to be part of a Christian school where I can talk to you about that. A lot of school systems out there can't share the Word of God with you for various reasons. And that honestly is our hope to get us through these circumstances that we've never seen before, or at least I've never seen in my lifetime. So Jeremiah 33:3, it says, call unto me and I will answer thee and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. We've talked about the call. We've talked about the unto me. We're talking about calling unto God, calling unto the creator of the universe, calling unto the one who knows every hair on the top of our head. Now, yesterday we looked at the word and, that little bitty word that's never really capitalized when you write it. It's just there, but it's so important. It means it's joining, basically, and typically joins two thoughts that typically are not related to one another. In this case, they are related. Call unto me, we're told, call unto God. And so we're waiting for what's going to happen. Now, the best part about this verse comes to light. And the best part that I think that we can claim during this time in our lives. And the words I'm looking at today is I will. Very emphatically, I will. The I means God. The I means, you can say, call unto me, and I, God, will. I've used this example before. I can tell Abby, I will do this for you. I will take you shopping, or I will let you post on Instagram tonight, or I will let you do whatever. And that may happen, it may not. It's only as good as my word, so to speak. But when God says I will, God means I will. We talked yesterday about the promise. We talked yesterday how God cannot lie, how he's not slack concerning anything he's promised to us. So God has promised he will do something. We're going to look next week is what that something is. Now, the verse doesn't say I will create a cure for coronavirus. It doesn't say that, but what he says we can apply to what we're going through right now. So I will, that gives us hope. That gives us hope to know that no matter what we're facing right now, and it's scary what we're facing, guys. Every day I get up and I'm kind of scared to turn the news on at certain points because I don't know if I want to hear what they're going to say. I don't want to hear that maybe someone I know has been exposed or infected. I don't want to hear that we're going to now be on lockdown or, quarantine, so to speak, or stay at home for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't want to hear the fact that we can't get together in our churches. I don't want to hear that. Unfortunately, it's reality. But I know when I turn on the news or when I get home or I listen to the radio on the way home from work, I know that God says if I call him and if I give him my concerns and my cares and my worries and my stresses, and it's okay to be scared during this time. All the times in history that people made through that we read about now, it was not a lot of times the big history things are not fun to go through. I remember when 9/11 happened. It was a scary time. We didn't know if we were going to get attacked. We didn't know what was happening. There was a time when we were in Northern Virginia when there was a sniper they were just randomly going around shooting people at the gas pumps or shooting people going into Home Depot. And we were scared as a community. So major events in history are sometimes not the easiest things to go through. But we have a promise in God's word that if we call unto him, he will, and then we're going to talk about the rest of it, the rest of the story next week. So I wanted to leave you with that. I know we're not going to see each other for a couple of days, but I wanted to give you hope and let you know that we're not alone in this, that God promised something, that he will do something, and we'll look at that next week. All right, turn to page 219 real quick in your book. We're going to finish up something here. We're going to get talking about Middle America in just a moment. I'm going to get ready to show you a video. Since we can't, and this is finishing up the United States, since we can't go anyplace, tomorrow we have season passes to Six Flags. We were supposed to go to Six Flags tomorrow because Six Flags was the opening day tomorrow. Well, guess what? We're not going to Six Flags tomorrow. I can't go to the mall. I can't go to the movie theaters. There was a movie that just came out last week that fortunately they're streaming now on demand with Fido, so I could actually see the movie without. But I love going to the movie theaters. I couldn't go to the movie theater. There's a lot of things, and we can't travel now. I mean, you can go places, but there's nothing that's open. So I wanted to give us kind of a tourist guide, a tourist trek through the United States. The video is actually the top 10 tourist destinations in the United States. Some of you have probably been to several, if not most of these. I've only been to a couple of what they're talking about. So what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention. I want you to kind of list, you can list down what they are, but what your assignment's going to be that's going to be due next Thursday. Remember, we don't have class on Friday or Monday of the following week because of Easter break. Is I want you to choose one of the 10 places that's on this video, and I want you to give me 5 reasons why that is a destination that you would love to go to at some point in your life. It doesn't have to be based on what the video says. The reasons why it can be that, your own reasons. It can be doing some research. So I want 5 specific reasons why you would choose this particular destination to go to. So I'm going to play the video, and we are going to go from there. So I need someone. Let's see. All right. All right, so I need a thumbs up. Janice, you're going to be my key here. You give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Can you see it? Can you see my video? It should have an American flag. You see it? Thumbs up? Excellent. Okay. Now I'm going to play it. You let me know if you can hear it, and then I know everyone else can, okay? All right, here we go. It's only about a 12-minute video, so it's not very long. Can you hear it, Janice? I'm not sure I would be hiking like those people are when the next slide I see is a bear. Just saying. So. I'll put a quick disclaimer in. They will talk with the Grand Canyon about millions and millions and millions of years. That is false. That is not true biblically. But I just want to put that disclaimer in before we finish up our tour. Okay, I've stopped sharing it. So that was just a quick thing. Obviously, it's interesting. We see the hustle and bustle of Manhattan. You saw what was going on in Las Vegas and the French Quarter. Obviously, if we were to visit those places today, April 3rd, 2020, it'd be a much different place. I read something about, here beside of our church, the Parks Casino closed down about the same time our school closed down. It just looks weird to us when you're used to seeing cars and things like that. I can't even imagine what Las Vegas must look like right now with completely shut down as well. So all I want you to do then is between now and next Thursday, pick a place you want to visit. It could be one of the top 10 tourist sites. If there's another tourist site on there that didn't make the top 10, but you feel like it should be the top 10, you can choose that as well. 5 reasons why you want to visit there. And that just needs to be written down. That is going to take the place of a current event for next week. That is your current event, so to speak, for next week. So, okay, turn in your books to page 219. With the few minutes we have left here, I want to introduce Middle America. We've moved from Canada into the United States. We're going to talk about Middle America. Included in Middle America, we're including Mexico and then Central America countries. It's weird. I don't often hear the term Middle America. You often hear Central America and then obviously South America and North America. But Middle America makes sense. It's in the middle between North America and South America. It's not very big. Actually, if you look on the map on page 220, you can see it's almost like a cylinder-like, almost like a funnel, the way it looks, as far as starts out kind of wide there in Mexico, and then it kind of funnels down. It's very, very narrow as it then as you get into Panama City to go into South America. Actually, it says there's no spot in Central America that's more than 125 miles from an ocean, whether it's the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean. And that, if you think about it, that's not very wide. 125 miles is not that wide of a span to be able to touch in one of the two oceans. At the narrowest point, if you were to find the narrowest point, it's only about 50 miles wide. So it's not a vast land mass. It's not huge. It's not very wide. It's rich in culture, rich in history, rich in what it gives the world. But as far as land mass, it's not very large. It's actually called, some of the notes I found, Middle America, or sometimes it's referred to as Mesoamerica. Different things that happen. We talk about the religion of an area. That makes up that significant of the culture. Religion here, because it's a Romance language, which is a Spanish language, it makes sense that they were influenced with Roman Catholicism. And it's interesting. It says 4/5 of the population claim to be Roman Catholic. The remaining claim to practice Protestant religions, or they do some type of Mayan or other indigenous religions that are a mix of the two. And it's interesting that I was looking on one side and there was a question that someone posed is, why is Roman Catholicism so prevalent? Why is it, got such a stronghold on a certain area? And this was an interesting viewpoint where it talked about first of all, the conquering Spaniards that came, they brought the religion and they kind of forced it on the natives there. They really didn't have much of a choice, but it's interesting because if you look at a lot of the indigenous religions there, a lot of the Mayan religions, they have multiple gods, gods with a little g. And what made it easier, I think, or more palatable for the Central American people to kind of embrace what they're being told to embrace as far as the religion was the fact that they could see a kind of a bridge or a segue in the Roman Catholicism faith, where Roman Catholicism talks about one true God and honors one true God, but there's so many different saints that come along in the Roman Catholic faith that kind of made sense to it. Kind of was like a segue or a bridge into for the native Central Americans there to kind of accept that as their religion. But now it's very engrossed in Roman Catholicism, and a lot of it practicing Roman Catholicism is also just Roman Catholicism in name only. We talked about sometimes those are the hardest people to reach for the gospel, those that have had this traditional religion passed down from the generations to the generations. Let's see what else I found out about. Talking about the currency. The currency there, the dollar is widely accepted, but the Central American countries, the small countries there, there's actually talk of them banding together and trying to come up with a different currency just for their portion of the world there. It's an extremely volcanic region. And because of that, the soil is very fertile, very rich. Coffee is a main staple in the agriculture. Obviously, bananas, beans are grown there. It's obviously great for fishing because they're so close to the oceans, no matter where you live in Central America. Fishing is a huge industry in Middle America. And to the east of Central America, there are hundreds of islands, the Caribbean islands. If you look on the map on page 220, you'll see the bulk of the land of Central America, and then to the east, you'll see your Caribbean islands, the ones that we know, the Bahamas, they're in the Caribbean Sea. Some of our tropical islands that we think of as being destinations for us. And it says there's hundreds of islands, and most of the natives that were native to those islands were eventually or initially killed off by different diseases. So when the Spanish arrived, they brought thousands of African slaves with them. At that time, the slave trade was a huge deal. It wasn't just a couple people that traded slaves. It was kind of a given that was what was going to happen. So the Spanish people brought over thousands of African slaves from Africa to settle there. And now a lot of the descendants, if you go now and trace some of the lineages, some of the genealogies back to the people that are living in the Caribbean islands now, can be traced back to these African slaves that were initially brought over when Spain was the first settling it. Spanish is the primary language spoken there. Over 42 million people speak this language, a Romance language. It's also home to the world's largest motorable road, meaning it's called the Pan American Highway. It's actually named the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest motorable road. We talked a little bit at the beginning about the bananas. Honduras, Panama, and Costa Rica are often called the banana republics of the world because bananas are so important to their economy. That's why next time you go to the grocery store, before you throw that banana peel away, look for those stickers. If you upload a sticker, you can earn 100% on a quiz grade. I did this back years ago when I taught this to a class I had a long time ago. And it was like, for me, I was excited to go and find the bananas. It was like people thought I was strange in the stores. I'm looking through all the different bunches of bananas they had there, trying to find something that had a sticker on it. I still do that today. I still look at the stickers on bananas to see where they come from. So we're gonna we're not gonna really introduce much more there. We're going to talk next week a little bit more in depth about the different countries that we would consider part of Central America. We're going to look at Mexico and the influence that Mexico has. We're also going to, as I'm skimming the chapter, the actual other countries that are kind of known more for Central America: Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. We're going to look at all of those a little bit more in depth. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know, it was really big as I was growing up. You don't hear about it as much anymore. But if you Google anything about the Bermuda Triangle, how people mysteriously go disappear, they disappear, ships remain afloat, but their crews disappear, things like that. Kind of the paranormal or paranormal, I don't know what word I'm trying to say, you know what I'm saying, kind of aliens will take over, different paranormal. My husband's sitting in here trying to tell me.
Paranormal.
Paranormal is the word I'm looking for. So it's interesting how in that part of the Bermuda Triangle is kind of there with the triangle that makes it, if you look on your map on page 220, kind of where Cuba is and out towards the Atlantic Ocean, almost where the Bahamas, the Bermuda area, kind of in a triangle. So it's interesting, kind of a little bit of a urban legend, so to speak, if you want to use that word. So as soon as we get through, there's also some different countries and dependencies we're going to briefly talk about at the end of this unit. And then that will wrap up our study on North America. And then we get to go into, I think, your favorite continent, which is South America. And I hear Venetia's cheering. Is Venetia's cheering about South America? So we're going to pick up our study Monday. I will have whatever work is due next week up on ThinkWave this evening for you. Again, if you still have to turn in your current event or your questions, please get those to me today. Remember, homework is 60% of your grade. All right, I'm going to unmute you guys to see if you want to talk to one another, if anyone has any questions for me. I'm going to unmute everybody. Again, like I said, I will see you Monday from my home. I haven't quite decided where I'm going to teach from. I may choose a different room every day. Not that I have that many rooms in my house, but that just means I have to clean every room in my house. But Abby will be back home with us, so Abby will be, I'll be teaching to Abby from another room, which will be kind of weird. Does anyone have any questions about what we're doing? Any concerns with uploading to ThinkWave, anything like that? No? Let's see, is there anyone? Okay, John, I will look on your, I may not have scrolled all the way down on your thing, but before you get off, John, I will check that, okay, to see where your current event is. All right. Yes, Daniel. Say that again. I didn't quite hear you. Next week, what? Talk really loud for me. Where we teach, like where? Hold on one second. Let me try this, Daniel, so I can hear you. I'm going to mute everybody, and I'm going to unmute you. So hold on one second. Okay. All right, Daniel. Tell me one more time what your question was.